When you hear the name Manning, you think of highlight reel passes, MVPs, and Super Bowl rings. But how did the NFL's royal family come to be? Their glory on the field or controversy off of it?
An alleged sexual assault from his time in college.
Wanting to go to New York got a little
How were they able to alter fate to manipulate the draft so that their son ended up playing in one of the NFL's biggest markets? And will their legacy continue with maybe the most talented of them all taking center stage? The Manning football empire isn't all highlights. It's a story about setbacks, what-ifs, and unexpected twists of fate. It's about dreams cut short, underdog triumphs, and the pressures of living up to a legendary name. It's a father's legacy passed down through blood, sweat, and spirals. Let's dive into how football's most successful family built an empire. Grandfather Archie's and the Manning story begins in Drew, Mississippi, a town so small you could miss it if you blinked. Growing up, he was a three-sport star, but football was where he truly shined. By the time he stepped onto the field at Ole Miss in 1968, it was clear the Rebels had something special. Archie lit up the SEC, setting records and turning heads. In 1969, he led Ole Miss to an upset over powerhouse Arkansas in the Sugar Bowl. That year, he finished fourth in Heisman Trophy voting. The following season, he upped that to third, cementing his status as one of college football's elite. The New Orleans Saints saw Archie's potential and snatched him up with the second overall pick in 1971. But the Big Easy wasn't so easy for Manning. The Saints were perennial cellar dwellers, and Archie spent most Sundays running for his life behind a dreadful offensive line. For many NFL quarterbacks, playing on a losing team is a career death sentence. But for Archie Manning, it was just another Sunday. Despite the struggles, Archie's talent was undeniable. He made the Pro Bowl twice and was even named NFC Player of the Year in 1978. But individual accolades couldn't mask the team's shortcomings. In 11 seasons with the Saints, Archie Manning only experienced one winning season. After stints with the Oilers and Vikings, he retired with a 35-103-3 record, the worst in the NFL for a quarterback with over 100 starts. Lesser men might have broken under the pressure, but Archie's resilience became the stuff of legend. He took the hits, dusted himself off, and kept slinging the rock. It was the grit that would become the foundation of the Manning football empire. As Archie's playing days wound down, his focus shifted. He wasn't just Archie Manning, NFL quarterback anymore. He was Archie Manning, father to three boys who were about to change the face of football forever. Every great story has its what-if moment, and for the Manning empire, that's Cooper, the oldest brother. At Isidore Newman High School in New Orleans, Cooper was electrifying. But his true breakout year came in 1991, when little brother Payton stepped in as quarterback. Cooper exploded for over 1,000 yards that season, a feat that wouldn't be repeated at Newman until a guy named Odell Beckham Jr. came along nearly 2 decades later. The kid had it all: hands like glue, moves that left defenders grasping at air, and a football IQ that could only come from being Archie Manning's son. When he committed to Ole Miss, following in his father's footsteps, it seemed like the next chapter of the Manning legacy was set in stone. But sometimes, life has other plans. Just before his freshman year at Ole Miss, Cooper started feeling numbness in his fingers and toes. The diagnosis was a gut punch, spinal stenosis. Just like that, his playing days were over before they truly began. For many, this would be the end of the story. But Cooper Manning isn't most people. He took his passion for the game and poured it into his younger brothers, becoming their biggest supporter and toughest critic. In the years that followed, Cooper's impact on the Manning legacy became clear. He was the secret ingredient, pushing Payton and Eli to reach heights he could only dream of. His lost opportunity became their motivation. Cooper's story isn't about the passes he caught or the touchdowns he scored. It's about resilience, about finding purpose in the face of adversity. It's proof that sometimes the most important players are the ones you never see on the field. But if Cooper was the what-if of the Manning empire, Payton was the what-is. From the moment he stepped onto the field at Isidore Newman, wearing number 18 for his brother Cooper on the sideline, Peyton Manning was cut from a different cloth. Choosing to attend the University of Tennessee over his father's and brother's alma mater, Ole Miss, Payton showed to be as obvious as he was unpredictable. However, his stellar career with the Vols didn't come without controversy. An allegation by former trainer Jamie Allwright accused Payton of sexual assault. Payton denied all allegations. Ultimately, the university settled with Allwright years later for the sum of $300,000, putting the matter to rest. The Colts' decision to unsurprisingly draft him first overall in 1998 altered the course of NFL history. Payton set a standard of play unprecedented in the league, one that may never be replicated. As the maestro of the no-huddle offense, he read defenses with ease, adjusting plays at the line of scrimmage with surgical precision. Payton's efficiency was nothing short of machine-like. His pre-snap routine became iconic. The pointing, the audibles, the calls. Football is a chess match, and Payton was always several moves ahead. This led to an offense that hummed with clockwork precision, frustrating defenses and dazzling fans for 2 decades.
I wonder if they ever think, just snap the damn ball.
Take it. Brown, Richmond, 96 double. 96 double. Check. Oh, what a flare. What a flare.
Payton drops, looks, fires. Touchdown, Reggie Wayne!
His 5 MVP awards stand as an NFL record. Even when a neck injury threatened to end his career, Payton refused to let the curtain fall. He reinvented himself with the Broncos, and the results left doctors scratching their heads. In 2013, he orchestrated perhaps the greatest offensive season in NFL history. 55 touchdowns, 5,477 passing yards, both NFL records. It was a masterclass in quarterback play. But Payton wasn't done. In 2015, despite the injuries taking their toll, he used his unparalleled football IQ to guide the Broncos to a Super Bowl victory. In doing so, he became the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest to ever play the game. From 1998 to 2015, Payton Manning redefined football. He retired with pretty much every passing record possible, showing us that the most powerful weapon on the field isn't a cannon arm or lightning speed. It's the mindset of a quarterback who sees the game in a way no one else can. If Payton was the golden child, Eli was the underdog. The youngest Manning brother always seemed to be fighting against expectations, and he made a career out of exceeding them. Eli followed the family tradition, starring at Ole Miss before being drafted first overall in 2004. But unlike his brother, Eli's path to greatness wasn't a smooth ascent. It was a roller coaster ride that peaked at the perfect moments. It all started with controversy on draft day. Being considered as the top prospect in the talent-packed 2004 draft, it was rumored that the San Diego Chargers, holding the first overall pick, would pick Manning number 1 overall. A rumor Archie and Eli decided to put to bed.
Why don't you want to play for the Chargers?
We're not really giving details right now. We've made our decision.
After learning how San Diego had done little to help major draft bust Ryan Leaf with his issues, the Mannings showed the depth of their influence, making the bold statement that if Eli was to be drafted by the Chargers, he would refuse to play a single down.
Be happy if the Chargers end up picking him on Saturday. Happy.
No.
San Diego crumbled. Forced into a deal, San Diego selected Eli Manning number 1 overall and immediately traded him to the New York Giants, who would select Phillip Rivers at 4th overall and immediately trade Rivers, along with the 3rd, 1st, and 5th round pick, back to the Chargers. The Mannings got their way, and the rest is history. Eli rode the coattails of a great defense to his Super Bowl victories. But when the lights were brightest, Eli shined. In the 4th quarter of Super Bowl 42, with the undefeated Patriots standing in his way, Eli turned into a different animal. He went, and let's not forget the throws. While the David Tyree helmet catch gets all the glory, Eli's sideline strike to Mario Manningham in Super Bowl 46 was pure artistry. A throw so perfect it seemed to defy physics. Eli's career was defined by bursts of brilliance. He might not have the gaudy regular season stats of his older brother, but he has something just as valuable: a knack for rising to the occasion when it mattered most. 2 Super Bowl MVPs, both against the seemingly invincible Patriots dynasty, tell you everything you need to know about Eli Manning. He wasn't always the best quarterback on the field, but in the biggest moments, he was as clutch as any of them.
After the game, Bill Belichick and the Patriots watch Eli Manning hoist the Vince Lombardi.
Eli Manning proved that greatness isn't always about consistency. Sometimes it's about seizing the moment when history is on the line. In those moments, Eli was truly elite. After hanging up their cleats, the Manning brothers proved they're just as dynamic off the field as they were on it. Payton and Eli found a second calling in the broadcast booth, but in true Manning fashion, they did it their own way. The Manning cast revolutionized how we watched football, turning Monday Night Football into must-see TV. And just when you thought the Manning era might be winding down, along comes Arch, Cooper's son. The latest in the Manning quarterback lineage, which has brought the family name back to the college ranks at the University of Texas. But Arch isn't just a carbon copy of his uncles, he's the next evolution. A blend of Manning football IQ and modern athleticism. He brings the cerebral approach that made Payton and Eli legends, but pairs it with the mobility demanded by today's game. It's like someone took the classic Manning blueprint and upgraded it for the 21st century. In limited play at Texas, Arch is turning heads with his ability to make plays both in and out of the pocket. He's got the arm talent to make all the throws, the field vision that seems to run in the family, and the legs to extend plays when things break down. It's a combination that has football fans salivating at what could be. As the season progresses, the pressure for Arch to step into the spotlight will magnify. He'll carry more than just the weight of expectation. He'll carry the legacy of a family that has redefined what it means to be a quarterback, both on and off the field.
The Saints never retired number 8. Someone just wouldn't give it to anybody.
The Manning football empire wasn't built on just talent. It was forged through preparation, consistency, and an almost supernatural football IQ. Archie laid the foundation. Payton and Eli took this to another level, spending countless hours in the film room, dissecting defenses like scientists. But the Manning Empire's impact on football is far from over. It's simply entering the next chapter. And with Arch at the helm, that chapter might be the most thrilling yet.